Madam Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days in which to revise and extend their remarks and include any extraneous materials on the subject of this special order.
Without objection, so ordered.
We are on the brink of a hunger crisis both here in the United States and around the globe. Right now, more than 38 million people, including 12 million children, are food insecure in the United States. Food prices are expected to rise up to 7.5% this year, stretching already tight family budgets. In my home state of Minnesota, dozens of hunger relief organizations are warning of the hungriest summer on record if the state doesn't convene a special session to combat hunger. At the beginning of the pandemic, I passed the Meals Act to let districts provide universal meals in the hope of preventing a massive hunger crisis. It worked. Over 30 million kids are now estimated to receive school meals. In August 2020, when the waivers were on the verge of expiring, Representative Bingley and I joined 119 of our colleagues in sending a letter to the Secretary of Agriculture urging him to extend the school meal waivers. Throughout the pandemic, I sent 3 letters and worked tirelessly to ensure every child can eat. Though we were able to secure these critical waiver extensions, the uncertainty caused millions of families and school administrators to panic and stress. Now, we find ourselves in a familiar place where at the end of this month, in just 15 days, millions of children are again at risk of going hungry as school meal waivers are set to expire. Let me be clear. We cannot let these life-saving waivers lapse as the pandemic rages on. I'm working with the Education Committee and leadership to ensure that our children are continuing to be fed. But we can't stop there. We need permanent solutions. As a former community nutrition educator, childhood hunger is an issue I know way too well. That's why one of the first bills I introduced after I was sworn in was the Universal School Meals Program Act with Senator Sanders and Gillibrand. My bill would provide free breakfast, lunch, and dinner to every student and eliminate school meal debt. No child in the wealthiest country in the world should experience food insecurity. We here in the United States must lead to end child hunger here at home and must continue to lead to stop this global hunger crisis. Every night, up to 811 million people around the globe go to bed hungry. Of the 811 million, 276 million people are facing acute food insecurity, and about 50 million people are facing what the UN World Food Program describes as emergency level of hunger. The United States has provided $2.6 billion to help other countries with food shortage, but we need other countries to step up and do their part. With 49 million people around the world on the verge of famine, we need to rally all leaders to increase supply of food and fertilizers, support basic safety nets for those without food, and fund humanitarian operations to reduce famine and hunger. We have to remember what got us to this point. Putin's illegal invasion of Ukraine has disrupted exports from 2 of the world's biggest wheat producers, making wheat unaffordable and unattainable for millions. Right now, India, Argentina, Australia, Canada collectively have the power to make up for most of the wheat loss or the wheat that is lost due to the war or the restrictions that are being created by some other countries. That's why we need countries around the world to step up and do their part to combat the wheat shortage, which is especially being felt in the Horn of Africa. The UN has warned about the imminent explosion of child death due to food insecurity and malnutrition in the Horn of Africa. In Somalia, 29% of children are experiencing acute malnutrition. About 7 million livestock in Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia have died since last fall due to widespread drought. This food crisis in the Horn of Africa and all parts of the globe will only get worse unless we take steps to stop this catastrophe from taking hold. We have to act to address the nexus of inflation, war, and climate change. Now is the time to act. And with that, I will yield time to the wonderful representative from New Mexico.